Hey, John Eats Cheap. We're gonna do some meatball subs for dinner, so gotta make the meatballs. Now you can buy the ones in the bag. I haven't found one of those that I really like because you don't really know what's in them. I know what goes in these. Now, full disclosure, these are not Mrs. Cheap's Amaze Balls, which are amazing. Maybe we'll do those in a future video. This is just an easy to make meatball recipe. Now, I was at the meat counter the other day and they had a new sausage I'd never seen. It was garlic basil, so I bought half a pound just to try it and see what it was like. It wasn't really garlicky or basil to me, so I'm gonna put it in the meatballs. Half a pound of that, pound of ground chuck. Add some Italian breadcrumbs. I don't measure, I'm just putting some in. Couple of eggs. And I know a lot of people also say with meatloaf or meatballs, don't ever use a mixer or a blender or a KitchenAid. You need to be gentle and work it with your hands. Nah, this is much easier. Season it up. Some salt. A lot of salt. Some black pepper. Some garlic powder, granulated garlic. We want them to be nice and garlicky. And then some Italian seasoning. Because they're Italian meatballs. Parmesan cheese. No, I'm not grating my own. These are going in meatballs. So, like some Parmesan cheese and a splash of milk. Not a lot. Maybe a quarter of a cup, third of a cup. And blend that up. I think I got everything. Give it a good mix. Easy girl. Just until everything gets incorporated. You know how mixing works. Then we'll test it. All right, we are pretty mixed up, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of the meat, put it on a plate, and microwave that real quick, just enough to cook it, and then we do the taste test. All right, so my mini meatball. That needs more seasoning.
And that's the best way to check for seasoning.
Sure. Yep.
Especially with something you're gonna cook like this.
More Parmesan. It needs more salt. A lot more salt. And more garlic. You could also put minced garlic in this too. That'd be good. And why not more Italian seasoning? Now we will have sauce on these too, so that will help. The meatball doesn't have to stand on its own. All right, I did a second test and they were very good. So now we're gonna make our meatballs. Try and get them all about the same size. It'll be about like that. You want them to be able to fit into a sub. And that way, you know, they'll all cook about the same. Same amount of time. That one's a little big though. Hey, it's not a perfect science. And I'll probably make these perfectly round before we do it. Just spacing them out here right now. There we go. 24 meatballs. Oh, a perfect 2 dozen. It's almost like I planned that. You're gonna put these in a 400-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes just so they get a little bit brown. They don't need to be fully cooked because we're gonna put them in sauce and finish them off in the Crockpot. You could also do this in a pan or a big skillet. All right, meatballs are done. So now we just load them into the Crockpot. Just got a little brown on the bottom.
You're just kind of sealing them in so they don't fall apart.
Yeah, these went about 22 minutes, I think. Going into Old Faithful.
At this point, you can freeze them too, and they're great.
Oh yeah, and you can freeze them afterwards too. But yeah, this would be, I mean, spend a day making, you know, twice as many as this, and you got, package them up on their own, and you got meatballs for a long time. Now, you can use homemade sauce. You know what? I was telling Mrs. Cheap, this is one of the best bargains. 99 cents when it's on sale. And I think at Aldi, it's always like 99 cents or $1.09 something for a jar of already seasoned spaghetti sauce. You know what? That's pretty easy. So we usually just use jarred sauce. And there we go. You can, you know what? I'm going to put just a little bit of water in there. Just because I hate to waste the sauce that's in there. What did I do with my lid? There we go. Because so much of it sticks in there.
Don't sing the shaking songs.
Yeah.
YouTube will block us.
So there we go. We're just going to put that on low and let it go, and it'll be ready for dinner. Meatball subs. All right, let's put together some meatball subs. I always start out with just a little bit of mozzarella on the bottom. Just a little.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, there's the meatballs. That would be them. So, where'd my tongs go? Here we go. I'm going to do these. You can do them in the oven or the air fryer. I just like to get the, you know, the cheese melted, and you want that bread to firm up just a little bit. It looks like we'll get about 4 meatballs in each sub. So we're going to have some leftovers.
That's not a bad thing.
Give them a good dunk. It's kind of like the old Italian beef, right? Dunk it. Get the juice. And then we will spoon a little more sauce over the top. I mean, it's not a meatball sub unless you leave a little on your shirt. So, and then more cheese on top. And we should need to get these in until the cheese is melted. As I said, you can do it in the oven. We're going to do it in the air fryer because it's quicker and we're hungry. This little pizza blend here, a provolone mozzarella blend. Into the air fryer. Just realized the sandwiches are cooking and I didn't try a meatball yet because everybody always says you didn't try it yet. Well, I know the sub is great. I'm going to make sure the meatball is great too. It is. Wow. That is perfect. John eats cheap. You genius. So there we go. That's a John Eats Cheap meatball sub. This is for Cheap Jr. and Mrs. Cheap. So I tried the meatball. That was good. I know the sub is great. So I'm just gonna cut this in half and show it in the midsection. But there we go. Meatball subs. Oh, and that bread is just enough. Crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Thanks for watching John Eats Cheap. Follow us on TikTok too. A lot of great stuff there. We try and post every single day. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Give us a thumbs up. Facebook. Share. Like. Thanks for watching John Eats Cheap. Appreciate it.